Good morning, everybody. Las Vegas Collectibles. How you doing? Um, yeah, this is going to be a day of a couple videos. I'm going to do this one and then a box opening video. But I wanted to get this out there. I thought I actually talked about this already, but I guess I didn't. So that's kind of crazy. But yeah, so a couple things. One, we are coming to the end of an era, right? Of where you can grade cards, right? Specifically cards. So like this. This is a CSG slab. I know it's not in focus and stuff. That's not the point of the video. The subject matter of these slabs is it's to display the actual slabs. So these slabs used to cost $8, right? I think 2018, the end of the end of 2019, this was still at $8, I believe. And that was true with everybody. Like PSA was $8 to $12, something like that. I think Beckett was as well. HGA wasn't really a thing back then. CGC, SGC, I don't think was a real big thing back then. I don't even know if they were even around. But anyways, this was $8. Just keep that in mind. That era is over. Why do I say that? Inflation, first of all. Supply, demand, inflation, the price of goods, price of materials will continue to go up. That is going to happen whether we want it to or not, whether the makers of this product want it to or not. It doesn't matter what anybody wants. Prices are going up. Not only that, this price to get this graded has been over $20 now for over 12 months. I think we're coming on to 2 years, right? Like a year and a half. I don't know the exact timeline, but it's over 12 months that this has now cost $20 or more. And the thing about prices, companies have been cashing in on an $8 amount of value, right, that they're adding to something, and their profit margin has doubled, right? I mean, the profit margin actually more than doubled, probably tripled, because on the $8 service, maybe their profit was $4, because of obviously supplies and labor and shipping and insurance or whatever else they're providing. So let's just say that it's probably even a bigger margin than that, but let's say the margin was $4. Now you're doing the same amount of labor, same amount of materials, same amount of service, same amount of added value, but now per slab, you're cashing in, $16 to $16 to $26 per slab. Think about that. And that's been going on for a year, more than a year. Prices are not going to return. If a magic wand came by and just waved across the land, and everybody, all materials were just readily in stock, and they can just provide service just like they used to, no, the company is not going to say goodbye to that enormous profit margin now. It's not going to happen. They can actually raise salaries, raise hourly wages for their employees, and that, to keep them. Obviously, they're going to need to keep them, so their cost of goods is going to go up because the actual labor going into it is going to go up, but it's going to go up extremely fractional compared to the amount of profit that they're making. So maybe instead of $4 to create this slab, it'll cost them $6 because let's just say the hourly wage, they bump it up a couple bucks. Okay, let's just say it goes to $6. They're still selling this for $30 with subgrades, $20 without subgrades or something like that. Come on, like, you think they're going to just say like, oh, hey, look, everybody, we got our supplies back, we're going to drop the price? No, inflation's going up, so the value of the dollar is going to go down, right? So they're going to need to raise prices anyways. We're already used to paying those raised prices. People's price memory is so short with everything that's going to be built in over the next, honestly, inflation's, you could do your own research. Do your own research. There's a lot of financial people out there that talk about this stuff all the time. Whenever our economy finds a new price point, it doesn't go back down. It doesn't. Very rarely does a company ever say like, hey, we had to raise prices because, the world went to hell. But now that the world's back on track, let's lower prices for everybody. No, that's not going to happen. Never has, never will. Yeah, there's probably one-offs, so saying the word never is probably not accurate, but whatever. These slabs are going to stay $30. And honestly, I believe PSA will get back down to $15 to $20. These will not. These will stay at $20 and only go up. The quality of the product is vastly different. If you were to hold a PSA slab and hold a CSG slab or a CGC slab in hand, you would see, oh, that's why this one costs more, because it's better. Not only that, grades, try to get a CSG 10. Try. You can break out PSA 10s and send them to CSG or CGC and they'll come back 9s. You can break out CSG 9s and 9.5s and send them to PSA and they'll come back 10s. I mean, there's plenty of people out there in the YouTube world, in the metaverse, that have done these experiments, and it's just a fact. CSG and CGC grade harder, right? So all of that adds value to their product, not dilutes it. PSA dilutes it, right? So CSG and CGC will always charge a little bit more than PSA's bottom price because they can. But this, $20 to $30, depending if you're getting subgrades. And we're talking about the cheapest level of submission, right? We're talking about bulk, and we're talking about economy standard, all that, the lowest of the low, right? Yeah. So think about that, okay? Prepare yourself. I wish I knew, and I wish I saw, just like everybody else did. You know, we all wish we had the crystal ball. So 2 years ago, we could have seen, hey, let's submit all our freaking cards now at $8. So that way we don't have to pay $20, $30, $50, $100, $150 per card, right? So that's why I have this out here. These prices are not going to go down. These margins are amazing. It's not going to happen. Our price memory is so short term. This is going to be the new standard. The business is not going to want to give up those profit margins. So this now will cost $20 moving forward. If it goes down below that, I would be happy to be wrong. I truly hope that in a year I can look at this video and be like, God, I'm an idiot. Of course they're going to go down. Of course they're going to be generous and give back to the people. We'll see if that happens, right? No, I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet hundreds and hundreds of dollars that $20 is the new normal. That I hate saying is the new normal because it's just outplayed in politics and everything, but it's true. This is the new standard. So this, for all my fellow comic book people, comic books my first love, not cards, comic books, and yeah, this costs less than this. Look at this. This is like 5 times the amount of materials. Not only that, the front of a card, the back of a card, there's 2 sides, right? 4 edges, blah, blah, blah. This is straightforward. This is very easy to grade compared to a book. And you know, blah, blah, blah. You can get all like emotional about that all you want, but it's just facts. Look at this. This book, front and back, right? Just like a card. 4 sides, just like a card. 4 corners, just like a card. How many pages? They still have to do everything else, but also the pages. Look at the amount of text up here. Look at this. Can you see that? They have to verify all that. Look at the amount of text up here. Not only is this harder to grade because of the amount of expertise involved and the amount of actual items that you're inspecting. They count how many pages are actually in the book to make sure it's a full book. They actually flip through each page to make sure that they're all whole and not missing anything, like a big old chunk cut out of, like maybe somebody cut out a Hellboy in the middle of this book somewhere and then they stuck it to their fridge or something. They have to make sure that it's fully there, right? This, you look at the front, you look at the back, you look at the edges, you look at the corners, make sure it's centered. Move on with your day. This one, you do all that plus all the pages. plus all the information. There's more detail that goes into this than it goes into this. This talks about the artist. This talks about the author. Whether or not there's a first appearance or anything like that goes over here. The actual size of the materials are different. On the top over here, right on the edge, there's nothing. On the top of a comic book, there's always something, right? Because people stack them in boxes, and so that way you can filter through. They haven't started doing that yet with cards. Maybe they will someday, because everybody has them in their Zion cases or whatever, and you can't tell what the card is because there's no label on top. Maybe they will at some point. Maybe that's part of CSG's new design that people have been hinting at is coming. This costs, to just a standard non-member, $22 to get this done, right? Non-member. If you're a member, if you pay for the memberships at the elite level, $19.50. This costs $20. This costs more than this, even though it's 5 times the materials and 5 times the labor. Now's the time. If you have any books that you're considering or have been on the fence about, I don't know if I should send it in grading or not, send it in. Now's the time. CSG is going to be coming out with a new label design, allegedly. They're a sister company of CGC. CGC just started opening up their services to grade cards, but not just Magic and Pokemon anymore. 11 additional brands, including Yu-Gi-Oh! That's coming, which Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a huge brand as well. So now they're amping up their services because they see how many people pay to get their stuff graded at $20 to $30. And they know it only costs us $4 to $6. Whatever their margin is for CSG, CGC sees that as like, hey, we could just do a bunch of other TCGs and just capture all that, because people are paying $20 to $30. Enough people start paying CGC for their cards at $20 to $30. They're going to start looking at this and say, why is this cheaper than this? This is not like, I'm not a rocket scientist. This is just common sense observations. This is cheaper than this. This is 5 times the materials, 5 times the difficulty, 5 times the labor. And plus each one of these, it generally costs more than one of these, right? It's not apples to apples, but a comic book that's graded, a generic, nobody cares comic book versus a generic base card that nobody cares about. Comic books will always sell a little bit more than this. Just in general in the market. Now, there's probably a higher volume of sales of these versus the volume of sales of these, especially nowadays. But they're going to see this. Somebody at CGC is going to wake up and say, hey, that card division over there, their annual bonus, they got 20, every employee in there, got $1,000 bonus because of how many, if you graded, 1,000 cards in the last month or the last week or the last day or whatever their metrics are, you got a Christmas bonus based off of the number of cards you did. And then, the brass up top is looking at the margins, is like, hey, man, we got to hand out some more Christmas bonus checks, because when they pump up production, we're getting a margin of $16 to $26 on these. And then so the card division is going to go over to the comic book division and say, you guys are losers. Look at our margins. Comic books division is like, hey, Collectibles Universe, or hey, CGC, whoever. I forget who the hell owns CGC. But anyways, hey, CGC, why do cards get to sell at such a higher margin than us? We got 5 times the materials, 5 times the labor. It takes us 5 times as long. Why can't we charge equal margins? CGC is going to be like, hey, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Let's increase our margins some more. It's coming, man. It's coming. This will not be $19.50. Inflation is here. Inflation's not going anywhere. Their cost of materials are going to go up. Their cost of labor is going to go up. And the card market is doing great on their grading slabs. Comic books is coming. So if you were one of those people that was like, hey, I really wish I knew I could see that the pandemic was coming, so that way I can just submit all my cards and get them graded at $8 a pop. I'm letting you know this is happening. So look at this, $22 right now. CGC Comics, cheapest way for generic public. If you're a membership, it'll drop it down to $19.50. Trading cards, bulk, $15. If you have it in bulk, right, 50 cards or more, economy. Comic book doesn't offer bulk submissions, right? So this $22 rate is equivalent to the economy for the trading card. See? Modern and economy, $25. So this card, I don't have it up on the screen anymore, but the card costs more than the comic book. That's not going to stay. It's just not. So now's your time. Okay, if you're on the fence about anything, send it in. Additionally, CGC is the highest respected grading company out of the comic books. So if you're like, oh, should I go with CBCS? Should I go with CGC? Should I go with blah, 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 blah? Look, all the prices are going to go up in the next year. By the end of 2022, I expect this to double in price. This will be $40 to grade. One book. Economy, modern. It'll be a modern $40. That's my guess. And now that I look at this, I'm like, well, maybe they don't want to go the margin that high because they don't want to lose so much volume. Okay, my guess will be, I want to say 40, but more realistic. Maybe they're not trying to destroy their margin. So $30. It'll be $30. This will be $30. With the membership. So maybe 35 for the general public. Maybe this number displayed on their website will be $35 and membership will be $30, something like that. Yeah, that's coming. Everybody, that's coming. Okay, so if you're on the fence of anything, send it in. And you can pay for the best, at $22 each, and get the CGC versus the CBCS and all that other stuff. And in 2 years, you'll be like, hey, I know I paid $22 and I thought it was kind of like, why am I paying so much compared to the CBCS? Everything's going to be so much higher. You're going to just feel great about it. Okay, so it's like now when you see people submitting cards to PSA and stuff, and I'm pointing at stuff and saying this, and I don't even have the freaking comic book up here on the images, but whatever. You get what I'm saying. The comic book grading right here is going to go up. $35 to the public, $30 if you're a member for the cheapest submission rate. This is going to stay where it is. And if you see anybody grade a card at PSA for $100 and $150, if you know somebody and you graded a card for $8, the same card the year before, you're going to get that. You get that warm feeling inside, like, yeah, I got it. I got a deal. You feel like you got a deal, even though the card's still worth $8, not worth much. But you feel good about it. If you're one of those people, you're going to feel that way in a year grading random comic books. Because in a year, nobody's going to be paying for the bulk to be graded. Nobody's going to be taking as many risks. And you're going to get that feeling like, yeah, I got a deal on this comic book because I graded it last year. Wanted to bring this up. Wanted to share my opinion about all this. If you disagree, let me know. If you think I'm just way off base, let me know. But yeah, this is going to go up $35 to the general public by the end of 2022. Honestly, I see that by the spring. I see this being $35 to the general public by the spring, because by the spring, they're going to have such a volume of orders for CGC trading cards beyond Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, because they opened up these 11 new brands, and Yu-Gi-Oh's coming soon. And everybody's going to be submitting at, I said 20, but I'm sorry, at $25 a card, $15 bulk. They're going to see those margins. And that's gonna hit the accounting books by first quarter. So first quarter 2022, they're going to start saying how much money is in this. They're going to change the price of this. Anyways, good morning. I know that's kind of like bad news, but it's meant to be motivating. Hey, if you got a comic book out there, send it in and get graded now. and enjoy your discounts, because in time, in roughly 4 to 5 months, my belief is that it's going to change. Definitely by the end of 2022, the prices are going to change. You've been warned, I guess. I don't know what to say. Have a great day, and I'll open a box later on. Take care.